Gamers, today is a very, very sad, but a very, very, very amazing day. So as you know, today is May the 4th, and if you are a Star Wars fan, you know what day it is, you know what time it is, and that's why it's so sad, because today is the final release of Star Wars The Clone Wars, from what we know, which is very upsetting, because Star Wars The Clone Wars, if you haven't noticed, is freaking amazing. But besides that, I'm going to give in a review. So you may be wondering how I'm going to be giving this review. So what we're going to do is I'm going to watch through it, and at any point when I think something interesting happened, I'll give a timestamp, and also I'll have a frozen picture, so then you know where I'm at and whatnot. Give my thoughts about that scene or whatnot, and then at the end I'll give an overall kind of my thoughts and opinions on this arc, and also on this episode, and also how well it fits into Star Wars, and my pretty much all my opinions on that. Anyways, let's hop right into this. So I'm gonna start watching this, and I'll see you gamers for my first little kind of thought. Spoilers, you've been warned. So far we're right now at 2:38, and this is just it's so far amazing. Just the music spot on like always. Star Wars quality, and then Darth Maul again. Oh, I'm just it's so far amazing. It's great. Darth Maul again, just being so amazing, being so evil, being so sinister and whatnot. And yeah, it picks off right away, right where the last episode ended, which it's no surprise to any of us. We all expected that. But I just can't wait until someone like cuts like all these intros and just slops it all together, like kind of like a movie, and then you can get to like watch it in like 4K or something like that. It would be amazing. I can't wait for that. Anyways, continuing on. Alrighty, gamers. So now we're at 6:29, and oh my gosh, this is amazing. Just the amount of clone troopers, the lighting, the music, everything is spot on with this animation, and it blows my mind how amazing it is and how good looking it is, and just how awesome it is. And then Darth Maul, like literally, the vibes I'm getting off of him is like Vader vibes. Like he's just like no one will stop him. Like you can like shoot him 20 times, and he will still try to choke you with his bare hands. That's just the vibes I'm getting off of Darth Maul right now in this episode. And every time I watch him, he's like destroying stuff, absolutely wrecking, or he's just like casually walking right behind the troops. It's just absolutely like I feel like Darth Maul can go to toe to toe with Vader, just how he is right now and just how intelligent he is in this episode. It's just incredible, and I love it. Everyone's just absolutely spot on, and it's amazing. And I can't explain it. It's a good time to be a Star Wars fan. That's all I can say. Anyways, continuing on with this. Alright, so now we're at 1609. So right now Ahsoka's trying to get with Rex. So we went through pretty intense stuff where Ahsoka's literally getting shot a couple times. It's pretty intense. I definitely enjoyed that, seeing how overwhelmed Ahsoka and Rex were, and how like clearly almost outmatched they were and whatnot. And yeah, so Ahsoka's failing to get into Rex's ship, but we do know that they both survive, which I kind of feel like ruins the motion and the intensity of this these scenes in these episodes. But other than that, I mean, it's still very like emotional and very intense and whatnot. And a thing I hope we get to see is where Maul ends up at the end of this episode, because we just see Maul absolutely dead. He doesn't even care, not even 1%, no care, absolutely leaves. He offers his help twice, which I'm kind of disappointed Ahsoka didn't. It would have been nice to see those two team up. I feel like that would have been super epic, but they didn't, which is unfortunate. Yeah, but other than that, it's super good. I like it so far. It's amazing. Love it and all that. And I just hope we get to see Maul, reunite with his criminal army or something like that, or maybe with his Mandalorians that maybe survive, possibly, question mark. Who knows? Anyways, let's continue on here, gamers. Okay, so now we're at 1813. So this is a very emotional scene for Rex and Ahsoka. And a thing that I forgot to mention is I kind of found it interesting how Ahsoka, like earlier in this episode, didn't want to kill them, right, to escape. But then earlier in this episode, in previous episodes, she did reflect the blaster bolt back at them. I don't think she did kill any of them with her lightsaber, but she still technically did kill some clone troopers, sorry. So I'm kind of confused. I feel like that would have been more of a stance for Rex, but Rex would have understanded Ahsoka for doing it because both of their survival is based on it. But it was Ahsoka, so I kind of feel like it was a bit odd, but I also understand it because it's part of Ahsoka growing up and coming, what she's supposed to come in Rebels and also further on in her future and whatnot. So it's very interesting. And the thing I'm curious is if it was Ahsoka or Rex that did put all these sort of, I guess, graves and whatnot. But it looks amazing, these graves. Like, that gives me vibes off of Star Wars Battlefront 2, like with the Ewok hunts where they have, like, the Stormtrooper helmets and whatnot. I believe you see that in Star Wars 6 too. I could be mistaken on that, so don't quote me for it. But I'm pretty sure you see it at least towards the end, like one of them is playing drums on it. But it looks cool. You can definitely tell that there was, like, it looks like a whole, like, war happened here. But really what happened is one ship crashed, from what we could see and also tell right now. But it's definitely dope, all this smoke, everything. Again, I cannot, like, express how much, like, this looks just amazing. Everything has definitely been upgraded and improved on, which is amazing, and I love it. Anyways, continuing on here. Oh my gamers, so we're at 1928. So I guess it went to the future a bit, because this is definitely not the Clone Wars, especially if you're looking at this one guy that's in the center. So I guess just like the Ahsoka novel, I believe, I could be mistaken because it's been a while since I saw someone covering it, but Ahsoka does, like, bury her lightsabers and whatnot. So I guess this is sort of the Clone Wars version of her burying her lightsaber. She leaves it where all the dead bodies are. So this is to convince the Empire that Ahsoka is dead, which is very interesting. I wonder if Rex leaves anything behind to convince also that Rex is dead. I'm not too sure, but we're going to continue on here. This is definitely an interesting scene, because then I'm wondering if maybe we get to see Dark Sidious or maybe even Vader possibly in this Clone Wars episode. There's only about roughly 4 minutes, but give or take, the credits are a couple minutes, so it's like right at the end, which is unfortunate because I want more. I can't believe that they're ending it, but I'm still... This is an amazing arc. I absolutely love it. But more on that after this episode's done. Gamers, we're at the end. So I just finished it. And that was an incredible episode. I definitely say this one was probably... I would say it was tied with the first episode of this arc. Like I sort of predicted, more that we got to see Vader, which is pretty dope. We get to see that he actually picks up Ahsoka's lightsaber, which is interesting because I wonder if later on, like, what happens to Ahsoka's lightsaber, because Vader holds on to it, which is definitely very, very interesting and whatnot. So you get to see that it looks like Vader, since Ahsoka was there, or like last of her presence there, and he went there to confirm that she was dead. And so I guess that's maybe why Vader and the Empire don't think she's alive, because of her lightsaber. So Vader's just like, well, I don't sense her anywhere else. This is the last place I can feel her presence, and there's no presence of her anywhere else in the galaxy. So she is dead, or most likely dead. Her lightsaber's here. There's a bunch of dead bodies. She probably died in the crash or leading up to the crash of the ship. But there seems to be no signs of Rex being dead, which is very interesting, because I wonder if Vader tries to sense out for Rex or whatnot, or if Vader thinks Rex is still alive. I don't know, but it's definitely interesting. So this one, I'd have to give it a 7.5 out of 10. It was definitely a good episode, almost great. Wasn't as good as the last one, but I mean, let's be honest. I don't think we were thinking this one was going to top it off. I mean, just with that whole creepy music going leading up to Order 66, it was like so creepy, but as equally creepy and like kind of terrifying it was just that great. And I think that's what this arc is definitely like the best. Definitely for music. The other music, it was like, it was mass Star Wars music. It was like kind of like, yeah, it's okay Star Wars music, but they could have done better. Everything was on par. I would say like everything was on par. I know that some people have an issue with the continuity with the Ahsoka book and this like arc being like slightly different, which just sucks sort of. But personally, I don't mind it. I think like the kind of issues with all that is completely fine, and that this version should be canon. Because I mean, to be honest, not a lot of it is a big issue. There is some like Volt or Ahsoka's codename. For some odd reason, she has the same one for the Clone Wars as in Rebels, which that's the only issue I can kind of see out of the ones that I know. But other than that, this was a great episode. I would have liked to see where Ahsoka went, but again, I guess we can go based off of the Ahsoka novel, assuming it's still canon after this. But also, I would like to see where Maul went, like just kind of like a little scene showing like Maul like wherever, or Ahsoka and Rex wherever, you know, would have been definitely interesting. It's very unfortunate that this ended. Maybe they'll do like a kind of spin-off series to show where Ahsoka and Rex are, maybe in the live action that was rumored, or maybe like another animation to do maybe a couple seasons just to show like the aftermath of the Clone Wars, you know, since like this is technically the last one, which really sucks. It's a really really sad. But anyways, I hope you peeps did have a good May the 4th. Let me know all your thoughts on this episode down in the comment section below and whatnot. I would love to know what you peeps think, what they could improve on, what you thought was amazing, what you thought was the worst about this, and whatnot. Personally, the worst thing about this, it's the last episode of Clone Wars. I kind of feel like that's a no doubt. My favorite part, Ahsoka and Maul. I mean, let's be honest. They're literally the best characters in this Clone Wars series, in my opinion. They like always like take the show like right off its feet, you know. In my opinion, of course. But let me know all that good stuff down in the comment section below. Leave a like or leave a dislike, depending on how you like this video and whatnot. And yeah, I'll see you all for another one. And may the Force be with you.